Ladies and gentlemen, we'll welcome you here today to the nation of Azerbaijan as we prepare to get underway for a 10th round of this truncated XRLX2 season at the streets of Baku, one of the fastest and strangest Formula 1 street circuits design ever in the history of modern day Formula 1. 18 cars are going to be taking the track in today's session. No one's come out into the circuit quite yet though. Our Team English is serving a qualifying ban, so there will be 17 drivers jockeying for 15 spots necessary for Q2. Here, our first man to come out onto the track will be this man here, XRL Low. No one else seems to be rushing out onto the track either right now. A lot of people trying to rush and adjust their setups at the moment. Yeah, everyone is still on pit lane. This is actually a very strange scenario. So now we see Ozda and AVS Fan 96 have finally come out into the circuit. Now McLaren, that's Matty, was here. He has also joined the track, as has Fletch 2020 1390. There's also now Ferrari coming down pit lane. That will be CJ Hurricane. As Lowe now comes to the start-finish line to begin his lap. So drivers, outside of this man here, most of these drivers didn't even start a lap until we were already more than 2 minutes into the session, so it's realistically going to be closer to a 16-minute qualifying session for most of these rather than a proper 18-minute one. Of note, though, everyone has the soft tires equipped except for Veloce, who is in the Haas, but they are still in pit lane. He does have the mediums equipped at the moment, though. So coming to the line now, in the AlphaTauri. Still not a lot of people out on track. So Lowe will set the benchmark time that everyone else will be trying to match, and it will be a 1:40.578. CJ Hurricane has already invalidated the start of his lap. AVS Fan 96 is going to likely be the next person to get a lap after this man here, XRL Ozda, who is currently navigating his way through Sector 2 in the Aston Martin camp. So Lowe has now been topped by Ozda, 139.814. This is Air Max in the Williams. Maddie Was Here has now gone to the top with a 39.539 in the McLaren camp. Coming now to the final corner, and that is the other Aston Martin. I believe that is Davis. No, I'm sorry, that is Ozdu who's actually gone off there in turn 3 on his cooldown lap. His teammate Davis John has had a spin out of 1 right after finishing his lap, and John, to his credit, had just gone third fastest, 140.042. So 6 of our 17 drivers have set laps at this point. AVS fan is in the middle of what I believe is going to be a banker lap. Where, well, I don't know, maybe he is trying to go faster. He does have the right speed for it. Nope, he's coming into the pits. He's aborting. Fletch now begins his lap in the Alfa Romeo machine. So right now, it's honestly taking a lot longer to get laps in than I was anticipating, and it's kind of causing an interesting scenario. And XRL Ozda has completely run out of fuel on his cooldown lap, and this could end up being bringing issues for Haas drivers. This is XRL Veloci. He's going to have to navigate his way around the Aston Martin. We're going to go ahead and ride on board silently for a lap with XRL Veloci. See what a full lap is like on board with him here at Baku. And Veloce goes up to 7th in the Haas machine on medium tires with a 140.766. 10 drivers have set their times thus far. At the top is K18 CFC with a 139.248. CJ Hurricane, the Ferrari, is in the middle of a lap right now. Trying to take care of something here real quickly. So Hurricane aborts his lap. Sha'Carri is in the middle of a lap right now, or more like he's just started a lap because he's not even gotten to turn 3 until just now. Sha'Carri, very rough weekend to say the least, very up and down for him at Baku. Ran the dev race, crashed out Q1, but ended up coming back and winning that race by a significant margin. Then in the X3 race a few hours ago today, he fought for a top qualifying position, took the lead by the end of lap 1, led laps early, but got involved in instant after instant, ended up crashing out in the final 4 laps of the event. So now he's trying to find, a happy in between, or at least a return to the form they had put on in the dev race, and hope that he can walk out here with a victory. XRL Torpedo as he's making his way through Sector 2. And this is Rimxo in the Red Bull machine. Zola also trying to make something happen. He has his teammate Franz W31 behind him, so Franz hoping to get a draft off of Zola to improve his lap time. Sha'Carri at the line will set a time of 1:39.856. That's good enough for 5th right now. Again, top 15 fastest advanced, but only 11 people have set laps thus far. So Franz trying to stay just close enough to Zola that he will get a draft off of his teammate to give him an extra pole down the main straight. Not laying hard into the ERS, interestingly enough. That was a very, very bad run. 16 there, starting Sector 3. And he's actually completely lost touch with Zola, it would appear. So that strategy has completely gone out the window. So Zola will be the 13th driver to set a lap here. And it will be a lap time in the 140s by the looks of it. It will be a 141.146. Slowest time we've seen thus far. His teammate Franz, 144.764. So not working out well for either of the Mercedes drivers right now. Rimxo invalidated his first lap, so he's going to have to try again at this. CJ Hurricane also out on another attempt to try and get a lap in. Pelly is in the middle of an out lap right now as well. And there are yellow flags in all 3 sectors at the moment. That seems to be a Williams that may have run out of fuel. That is Torpedo, who has potentially run out of fuel or is just coming to a dead stop in the middle of this lap. Either way, whatever he's trying to do, it's definitely not helping himself or anyone else. Rimsco finally comes across the line with a valid lap time. No, he does not. He brings it into the pits, and with only 3 minutes and 35 seconds left for Rim, there's a chance he might not advance because he might not be able to get a lap in time. It takes you about 1 minute and 40 seconds to get a lap in. So you do the math, you double that, 1 minute and 40 plus 1 minute 40, that's 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Assuming that Rim was coming out into the track right now, ooh, it would be really, really close. I'm not saying he can't do it, but it's going to be a lot closer than I think he'd want to play it. Franz has significantly improved his time to the 39s with 39.973, but Zola has come into the pits. So Zola right now is on the bubble with Pelly and Rimxo, if Rimxo can get back on track, looking to squeeze him out, as CJ Hurricane has set time 140.434. Interestingly enough, Veloce's time on the mediums, 140.766, is still holding up. He is 12th at the moment, although he has just started an outlap. Pelly sees a Williams ahead. That would be Air Max. I believe. Coming down the straight, Pelli is going to try and squeeze Zola out. Zola, the only man not in the 141 range yet. But again, Zola doesn't specialize in qualifying. He brings out his performance en masse in race itself. So XRL Pelli coming to the line, he'll set a lap time of 1:39.496. That's third fastest thus far. Incredible time. Rim is on another outlap. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get a notification that you joined. I only got a notification that you left, mate. Yeah. Although, if you're not going to jump in and broadcast, I'm not going to hold that against you. Rim has invalidated this, but this is only his outlap. He doesn't have to worry too much about that. His focus needs to be just getting to the line and getting a lap in. For Zola, this is going to get really close because it's 1 minute and 20 left on the clock. And he needs to rush fast in order to get to the line and make another attempt at a better time. Because right now, Zola is on the outside looking in. AVS Fan 96 is on the bubble. Rimsko is not yet set a lap either. And AVS Fan is in the middle of an attempted improvement lap. Torpedo goes ahead and retires in pit lane. And this is what happens when drivers just wait a long time to get laps in. You can't really tell where people's actual pace and performance are or not at. No, Oz is not commentating. He always lurks in the party when I broadcast. Yeah. Now, CJ Hurricane, who has the 13th fastest time, has gone ahead and retired. And that is a Alfa Romeo. That's Fletch, who just after setting a lap has spun. Huh. Well, that's not going to help him whatsoever. Zola rushing to the line. And it looks like he will just barely make it to the line in time. He needs to improve by about 0.02 of a second to beat AVS Fan. But if Rimsko gets a good lap in, Zola needs to try and beat Veloce. But Veloce is on soft tires. He's almost guaranteed to go faster. So then his actual target might be CJ Hurricane or Fletch. So for Zola, this is going to be very, very difficult for him. Rim going through Sector 2 as he has just come out of Castle right now.
Veloce on his outlap has set to purple Sector 3. Sector 2, sorry. Is he on outlap?
A second.
No, he's not, sorry.
No, that's his flying. This is his flyer. His first lap was on mediums, and this lap is on soft, so he is going to advance, by the looks of it, on the set of soft tires.
You could do it on mediums, by the looks of it.
Yeah, but you don't want to take the risk. Veloce now up into 6. Rim coming to the line. That's also Jabus John coming to the line as coming into the pit, so he's not going to factor. Rim waits till the last possible moment to get a lap in. What will it be? It will be a 1:40.225. That puts Hurricane on the bubble. AVS Fan is on the outside looking in, as is Zola. So AVS Fan down by 0.2 at the end of Sector 2.
6,000's up, that's it. So there is.
Nah.
Got to have a cracking
Yeah, Zola,
it's
not... Yeah, unless Zola has something amazing here, he's going to be starting 17th. But again, Zola, not known for his qualifying prowess, he is known primarily for having exceptional... And he's crashed! Oh, wow! A bit of a slide coming out of the high-speed corner, and Zola's into the wall! And he is out of it!
He was 8 tenths up going into the last sector. Really pushing.
And while that it would be iffy if that was enough to get him into the next round of qualifying or not, he was clawing some time back. But now, it's over for him. And for CJ Hurricane in the Ferrari, a moment of relief because he will advance to the next round.
Wow.
Well, that was a smashing end to qualifying 1 here. K18 CFC in the Alpha, though, at top with a 139.248, followed by Jabus John in the Aston, XRL Pelli in the Alpine, Shikari in the Haas, Maddie in the McLaren, Veloce in the other Haas, Mr. Neon in the Red Bull, Torpedo in the Williams, Ozda in the Aston Martin, Franz W31 in the Mercedes, Rim in the Red Bull, Air Max in the Williams, Lowe in the AlphaTauri, Fletch in the Alfa Romeo, and CJ Hurricane in the Ferrari. Our Team English serving a qualifying ban will not advance. He'll be starting dead last. And then Zola and AVS fan just were not able to set fast enough lap times to advance to the next round.
I need to quit out and go spectator for a second ready, not copied, because I'm on the car for the grid at the start of the race.
Oh, oof.
Yeah, I need to change that quickly.
Alright, go for it. I won't hold that against you.
As soon as Shaqiri leaves, I'll back out and I'll go for spectator.
Hey.
Damn it. Come on.
So now we prepare to get underway for our second round of qualifying. This is where tire compound choice is decided for the top 10 starters of the race. The tires they set their fastest lap on in this session will be the tires they run in the race itself. At the start, first men to get onto the circuit though, Ozda, XRL Lowe, and CJ Hurricane all right on top of each other. In fact, Lowe goes ahead and sneaks by Ozda. Now, Lowe invalidated on his first lap attempt earlier, and Ozda's going to go for an overtake under qualifying. What is this?
Everyone wants to be.
Yeah, and Lowe says, fine, if you want that, go. I'm not going to fight you for it. Well, all for clean air and for timing. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to set the time.
I wonder if Azza's going to do a double warm-up lap, because the tyres around here on the mediums are always better on the second flying lap.
Shows to me that he's on softs.
He's on mediums, Azza is.
I see red on my screen, but like I'm looking at his car and it shows red.
With him.
I'm going to chalk this up then to the game being stupid.
Yes. Azerbaijan first flying lap. There's a fight going on behind him. He's towing the Ferrari.
Well, yeah, and that is Hurricane who's getting a bit of a tow. Now, XRL does have rules regarding tows. You're not supposed to be giving tows to people who aren't your teammates. But at a track like this, it's almost impossible to prove if you are or are not intentionally giving tow, and you're not normally going to be giving tow to people who you're going to be racing against anyway. So at this circuit at least, there's definitely a lot of tow and draft playing around happening in the qualifying sessions, independent of team, just because the people behind try to time their stuff so they get out right behind someone else who will be on a flyer. Ideally close enough they can get a great pole through Sector 3 and through the first half of Sector 1, but not so close that compromises the run in Sector 2.
When the new game comes out now, it won't be as much beneficial around this track. So.
You think?
Yeah. I think you could sit closer to cars, but the DRS today at the Grand Prix in Baku, it was not as powerful as it was last year.
Didn't they shorten the DRS zone this year, though?
I don't know. I actually don't know that. They probably did. And if they did, then that's why. Can't actually remember.
I mean, irregardless, it kind of goes to the point, though, that I'm still very iffy and bullish on the level of quality of a game that EA will make or try to make. So
it's going to be more pay to play, I think, this year. I really do. Like FIFA is.
Ugh.
And the Ferrari's in going into the pits because he's got wind damage.
Yeah, that's the risk of running behind someone. No, he's not. He's still out.
Oh.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going into the pits.
Strange. Well, Azasev 40.025, Hurricane 40.063, Low 40.244. The next one across the line will be Franz, the only representative of Mercedes that made it into this round. He's into the 39s, 39.638. Now here comes the Haas's to start their lap. That is Veloce. But the next person to actually get a lap in is going to be K18 CFC.
Who, I don't watch this division, so who do you think is going to be on pole?
K18 set a monster lap in Q1, and he's just set a monster lap there on the medium tires as well. I think it's likely he'll get pole.
Okay.
Of course, we've seen from Veloce's runs, though, that pole doesn't mean a whole lot here.
No.
Considering that Veloce started on the pole and Dev dominated that race, only to lose in the last 6 laps or so. Dominated the X3 race from pole, only to lose that. You're joking, just as I was talking about him?
Yeah,
oh my goodness, he has! Not only has he crashed, it is right in the front of the Mercedes of Franz, and Franz is going to be upset, and Veloce has a 5-spot grid penalty for that as well.
Wow. He's not going to be happy.
Now, the good news is for Franz, he had already set a lap, and a very good lap at that, but now Franz has to lift that car around the track and get it back into the pit lane.
Wow.
Well, just as I was talking about him, I don't believe in commentators' curse, but that's the kind of thing that makes people believe in it. Low now goes to the top of the timesheets with a 39.430.
So Veloce will be straight in the pits, brand new set of tyres and a new front wing for Haas. At least in this game it don't cost you millions to build a new one. Poor Mick Schumacher.
I mean, Mick's problem isn't the front wing. Mick's problem is that he keeps splitting the engine from the car.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Alright, coming to the line is Javis Don, and he will be the 9th driver to set a time in the session. It will be a 141.195. He did that on the medium tires.
Here comes Shaqiri.
To the top, 39.353.
That's fast.
So Pelli, Veloce, Rim, and Torpedo are all in pit lane right now. So the 11 drivers that have set times are the only 11 we're going to see for a while. Fletch is on the outside looking in on 141.978. Javis is on the bubble. Boy, Fletch does not feel or look confident with that car at all going through Castle.
It looks like he needs a bit more downforce on the rear end. He's also flashing very hard red, so he's very light on fuel right now.
So the question is he going to commit to this being a racing lap? He could. This time is over a third of a second up. But granted, with that improvement, though, that would not be enough to get him over Javis John's time. But this is the lightest the car is going to be. It's not going to get any lighter than this, so...
Keeps to the left, unless if he boxes, yeah.
Yeah, he's coming in, yep. Alright. Well, Pelli and Veloce have just started out laps, so they're going to go for another shot at this. Air Max and Javis John are both out on track, but Max is on a cooldown lap, low on fuel. John, I think, is just trying to go a little bit faster on the same set of mediums, move his way up to the grid a bit. And I think he has taken enough fuel out of the car from running that first lap that he can improve. Yes, he does, 140.090, so he improved by over a second. That moves him up into the 8th position now.
He's not flashing red, so he could have plenty of fuel still on board, so he could be going for another lap.
Would not be a bad strategy, even if it's only an improvement by a few thousandths of a second. If you think it will keep you away from the people lower down, you might as well take it. It's not like an X3 where you almost have to worry more about positions than anything else. Here, it is fractions. An X2 and X1 is usually fractions of a second that define.
He jumps up to 5th. There you go. 10th gets to the 5th.
And then also, again, remember, Veloce has that penalty, a grid starting spot penalty as well. So
So if Veloce needs to be on pole really, and then drop down to 5th, that's the best scenario.
Or bungle it, start 15th, get dropped down to dead last, avoid all the carnage at the start.
Yeah, maybe start on hards.
Yeah, you know a lot about starting on hards, wouldn't you?
They were when I was sending down the inside of people in T1 earlier. They're really good round here, man. Yeah, they feel good round here.
So Pelly and Veloce both in the middle of laps. Also still in the middle of a lap is Davis Dunn. As I say that though, he has come into the pit, so he's not going for another lap.
I'm on board with Veloce.
Rimso is now coming out. So Rim in a very interesting position because Rim went like 2 or 3 different attempts at a lap in Q1, but didn't get an actual lap in until very close to the end of the session. Rim this time waited to even come out into the track until the last moments of the section, so maybe in the Red Bull camp they feel they are now behind the 8 ball when it comes to tire management. Christ alive, Veloce very nearly invalidating it there in 16. But the Red Bulls may feel they're behind schedule now, behind the 8 ball when it comes to tire management, and they wait until the last moment to try and get a lap in. Torpedo still has not yet made an attempt to make a lap.
This is the lightest Veloce's cars have been, flashing absolutely crazy on red. He's deploying everything he's got, and it goes second with a 1:39.4.
Haas 1-2. If I didn't know any better, I would think I was watching last season, where the Haas drivers absolutely murdered everyone else all season long.
Oh, Pele pits it on pole.
Oh,
the pole.
139.041. So now the question becomes, are we going to potentially see a 138 in Q3?
I wouldn't put it past anyone on the grid.
Well, Torpedo has just come out of the box in pit lane, and like I said, Rim is in the middle of an outlap. Right now, as it stands, Jameson is on the bubble.
He's come out pit.
They have swapped on to soft tires, though. He's coming out of pit. Yeah, he's out of pits now, so no one is going to be starting this race on mediums. Again, softs just absolutely destroy the mediums on this track. There's no doubt about it. On single lap pace. It's usually not until you get about 4 to 6 laps into a stint that the mediums start beating the softs back over.
The thing is, if they start on softs and they have minimum 3 laps on them, then they've got to, say, in the race, they've got another 3 or 4 laps. They're going to be dead by lap 5, and they're going to have pit. So any runner that starts on mediums or hards are going to have way more advantage by absolute miles.
The counterpart to that, though, is that if you have a race that is green for the first lap, but you have a yellow flag on lap 2, 3, 4 or something, you can go ahead and you basically get a free pit stop, and you're not losing nearly as much time on the racetrack.
Yeah. Very good point.
Franz has now gone up to second with a 39.277.
Veloce puts it into T, I don't know what corner that is. But he's in reverse trying to get it out of the corner.
Oh god, that's right there in 15. He's way off. That's in a really strange place. I don't see very many cars take that exit road, but he's had to utilize it.
He's got no fuel. He's got that's why.
Oh, is he gonna get suspended for that? Wait, is there an Alpine that's just stalled on the racetrack in the main straight?
Yes.
Yeah, there is. Pelly. He's out of fuel. He has no fuel, and he's right in the fastest part of the racetrack.
Oh dear. Just like him and Veloce. We're out of fuel.
Rim goes up to 8th now, 140.050. So, oh boy,
Ooh.
Pelly just barely creeping down the line. The next car who is on a flyer lap, though, is still in Sector 2 right now, so they might be able to hobble those machines into pit road.
What? Veloce and Pele very close together.
They are now.
Now let's go back on board with the action. Torpedoes coming to the end of Sector 2.
Azerbaijan is up by a third of a second at the end of Sector 1 alone, so the swap from medium to soft tires should be enough to put him back into the top 10 in time, assuming nothing goes wrong here.
A 1 minute 14.6 for Torpedo going into the last sector. Don't know if that's good because it's got no delta reference.
Rim did set time 140.050. That's put him 10th at the moment, but it looks like he's going to get squeezed back out because there are just a lot of people, almost half the grid, in the middle of laps right now. Here comes John to the line, and he will set a lap time of 1:39.289. That's good enough for 5th. Ozda now outside, Fletch outside, Rim outside. Rim is coming to the line though, as is Ozda. Can they move back in? Yes, Ozda back to 10th, 39.476. Rim is going to try and squeeze Ozda out. He improved, but not by enough, and they're low on fuel in that Red Bull. I think he's done.
You got CJ Hurricane on coming into the castle now. He's on.
And Air Max is also about to enter the castle section as well, but Air Max is already low on fuel, so it's going to be iffy if he'll even be able to really take this final lap in proper anger.
You can see who's gone for a high downforce setup when you go through cars with the back end not slipping under turning off camber corners.
It says Hurricane's up by 0.6. That would be a significant improvement that would easily get him into about 7th, 8th, 9th position if he keeps it together to the line.
You just send it now, don't you? And pray. I thought you wanted that to cross the white line there.
You're not supposed to, but I guess if no one reports you, it doesn't matter. Hurricane, 39.327. So that moves him up into 6th. So Ozda now outside looking in. Ozda has gone off at the runoff.
Of Castle. He's better than going in the wall.
Fletch has damaged the car. The entire front wing's been ripped off. So, yeah, it's over for him. So now the question is just Rim, and Rim is low on fuel on a cooldown lap. So for all intents and purposes, the session is over.
Yeah, Rim's only 3/4 throttle.
So the drivers that make it in all do it on the soft tires. Pelly, K18 CFC, Torpedo, Franz, Azerbaijan, CJ Hurricane, Mr. Neon, Shikari, Veloce, and low. Ozda goes for a little bit of a spin, coming out of 16.
Bad to start in the prime position. You can pick any tire now to start on. So. He won't be stuck on.
So you're gonna obviously say to him, "Hey, go ahead, throw the hards on, and just run those to the end."
Yeah, that's what I would say. Start on the hards and then go to mediums or softs because it's quite a good strategy.
Of course, that strategy will only work if you don't get your wings chopped off on the first lap.
Yeah. But I've raced Vaz before. He's pretty damn good at keeping it clean. So. I was waiting for Azza to retire, and then we'll be going into Q3.
And the drivers who do not advance, Ozda, Maddie, Fletch, Rim, and... show me 15th place, please. Airmax, 88.41. Veloce, again, a 5-spot grid penalty. So he, like you said, he either needs to try and start and get pole or second. Because at this point, you know, it's not like he can just sandbag to dead last.
No. Getting interesting because I don't know if Veloce's got much more pace in him. I think that was his pole time in X3. And, oh, have I been kicked? What's happened here?
I still am here, so I can invite you back if you need it.
No, I just had a white screen and then it come back, so. Weird. So we're 20 seconds down and there's only one car looking like it's coming out now, and it is Lowe's.
So Lowe, who has gone out of his way to be a first man to set a lap time in Q1, tried to be one of the first ones to set in Q2, is now also going to try and do the same thing in Q3, but look behind him, Veloce and Sha'Carri, these two have been the talk of the town for this entire weekend at Baku. It has been Sha'Carri versus Veloce this entire week. On one hand, Veloce has finished both races, led more laps than anyone else, and done so from the pole, but Sha'Carri's won one of them. We're going to ignore the fact that he got crashed out of the other, but he's won one of them. Oh, he's into the wall! Sha'Carri's into the wall! And that's wing damage.
So we're pitting straight away.
Yeah. Also of note, for Veloce, he was running in Dev and in the Dev race, and in Q3 for the Dev race, he crashed at the start of it.
Oh.
And he was able to just barely hobble that car back to pit lane, and then at the last moment came back onto the circuit and then put down that pole position lap. So you can crash early on in Q3, and as long as you're not stupid, you can bring that car back to pits. It's not like it's over. You can definitely overcome that middle block, and if you're fast enough, still take pole position. But I am going to be 100% honest. I think the man right here that I'm focused on, K18 CFC and that Alfa Romeo, I think pole position is going to go to him.
And the first person to start the lap will be Lowe's in around about 20 seconds. When you get down this 2 kilometre long straight, around about 210 miles an hour, depending on setup. I think it's at 190 miles. 205 before braking. Not bad.
Lowe has now begun his lap. Of note, Davis John and CJ Hurricane are still in pit lane and have not yet made it to come onto the track. Sha'Carri now into the pits to repair the damage to that front wing.
Straight back out, so.
Probably. It could actually work out. Excuse me. It could work out well for Sha'Carri because he could be coming back out on track at about the time that everyone else is bringing it into the pit lane. So his flying lap, it could be a very nearly empty racetrack.
Yeah. Lowe's really committing to getting close to these walls.
It's a bold strategy, Patton. Let's see how it plays out. Wow. Full confidence going through Castle.
Yeah, Castle.
When you were running the X3 race today, were you running high downforce or low downforce setup?
I was running 2-4 wings. But I went for straight line speed.
Okay, yeah.
Hence why, when I was going down the straight, for most people, that I was before I was getting DRS, and then I was almost past them.
I still can't get over that crazy, silly, stupid 3 wide overtake. Like I said, you very nearly gave me a heart attack.
You should have recorded it.
I mean, it's on stream, so...
Loche with a 39
Yeah. So we know the Haas, are at least Veloce is going to still try factor for a front row starting spot. But again, time penalty, Veloce is really fighting for like 5th or 6th, all things considered. Torpedo now goes to top 39.2. And now we see Pelly cross the line with a 39.48. And here comes Mr. Neon. We've not talked much about Mr. Neon thus far in qualifying. He sets a 39.740. The next man, though, who will set a time, well, it's not going to be K18 because he's invalidated this lap. It's going to be...
No, not France.
France. Yeah.
Wrong person.
And even with France, he'll still have to go for a whole nother lap. Yeah, it's going to be a little while for him. But what I say about Shikari, it's worked out well enough for him. Yeah, it's tires lost, it's still time lost, but there's one guy ahead of him, Franz, who's also in the middle of a lap, and everyone behind Shikari is not. They're going to be coming in. So for Shikari, yeah, this worked out well enough. Going to be a pretty clean track for him flying here.
Yeah, he won't get much interference, so it should be pretty
K18
clear.
going for another lap, so it's going to be really interesting for K18 because he backed off quickly and started trying to save the fuel and tires, so this car's going to be a little bit lighter, but the tires might be past their peak already. And again, there might be a risk also that he'll run out of fuel completely on the cooldown lap.
Like Flotche's out of fuel, so...
Again?
Yeah, going down the straight.
Well, I mean, good thing everyone behind him's already set their lap.
Who's this? So he taps the wall going into the pits.
Nah, he's already right there, so it's not going to matter too much at least.
Just curious, see what you got then.
114.684 for K18 coming out of Sector 2.
Shikari's car looks planted through castle. Absolutely planted. He get on the throttle nice and early, turn the car, front end responds.
136, 137, 138, 139.351. That's not enough to get over Torpedo. So K18 only with the second best time, 39.351.
Shikari's invalidated.
Hurricane. So the focus now goes to the man ahead of him, Franz, W31. He'll be the 7th driver to set a time in the season, and will be a lap time of 139.161. He now comes to the top.
I did not expect that.
No, me neither. It didn't even look all that fast, but he's definitely put together well. So CJ Hurricane is the other driver in the middle of the lap right now.
Everyone's going to be getting the new tyres on. I don't know how long's left because I keep getting yellow flags sector 1. How committed are you going to be, CK Hurricane? Very committed. I wonder if I'm going to see if he does the same strategy as the other guy. Goes across the pit lane line. Yeah, and look. Interesting.
I mean, fastest way between 2 points is a Tesseract, but the second fastest is a straight line, irregardless of whatever else is there. I guess that's what Hurricane's doing. So this has not worked out well for K18 because he did get his lap, but it's not nearly as fast as he wanted it to. Now he's pretty much out of fuel, hobbling it around through Sector 2. There's not a lot of time left in this session either. I'm going to be honest, the man who I thought was going to get pole, I don't feel so confident about him getting pole now.
Blotch at this rate is starting P11. With that 5 race per
That would be
per
good
turn.
news for Ozda, though, because that would promote him up into 10th if it stays that way.
Yeah, and he can still start on any tire he wants.
Yeah. Davis John in the middle of an outlap. Shikari is just now starting to come out of pits again, going to try one more shot at stealing pole position.
Shikari needs to get a lap together here. Don't have to be a good lap, but just needs to be a goodish lap to get a lap time on the board.
There's also Mr. Neon, who is in Sector 3. He's about to start another lap, and Torpedo is just ahead or just behind Shikari on the racetrack as well.
And that is Hurricane out of fuel.
But Hurricane is coming down the main straight,
Yep.
and while Davis John is coming with speed, John is on an outlap, and there's no risk of John running into Hurricane right now. So
I've never seen this many drivers run out of fuel.
yeah, me neither. This is it's a space oddity, to say at least. It's not a normal Earth oddity. We've gone straight to space with this.
So what can Shakira do? I think he can put it on pole. There you go. That's a bold prediction. I think he can put it on pole if he hooks it up.
I think front row is absolutely possible. I don't know about pole. Maybe.
Well, let's let in the next minute and a half we'll know.
Yeah. We'll let Shakari decide which one of us is correct.
Yeah.
He's only going to have time for one lap, though, because we have less than a minute and a half left on the timesheets right now.
Yep.
Hurricane goes ahead and retires in the pit lane. Also of note, Jabus John is in Sector 2 right now, about to enter Castle, and he is trapped behind Fran, so he has to deal with all the aerodynamic wake of that Mercedes. But if nothing goes wrong here through Sector 2, he could... Well, no, actually, Franz pulls away to let John by. Franz is on an outlap, but the question for Franz is, will he make it to the line in time to get another lap started?
Just, I think.
Neon. He's in it! He did it! We're in the 38s! Mr. Neon! We have not talked about him at all through most of the session. He is now on top with provisional pole with less than a minute left with a 38.970.
That's quick.
Veloce starting another lap. Here comes Jabus John to the line.
Shakira had a bit of a rough castle section.
John goes only 9th fastest, 140.792. He could go for another lap, though. He has the fuel and the ERS for it. 114.181 for Shakari out of Sector 2. This is the lightest the car is going to be this lap. Time's up. Oh, wow. And K18, who tried to go out for another lap, did not make it to the line in time.
That's rough.
And here comes Shakari to the line. It's not going to be a great lap, though, I don't think. 130. No, it is! He did it! He took it! Wow! 138.907!
I told you, man. I told you. I told you he was going to do it.
Here comes Pelly to the line.
Oh!
He did it! 138.828! Where is everyone pulling all this time out of?
Sorry for swearing.
Well, here comes Mr. Neon, but he's aborting because he's out of
wing
fuel.
damage.
Ah!
Oh, wing gone.
And that means he's only going to start 8th, maybe even 9th if Jabus John hooks up a good lap here. So for Veloce, he's going to be dead in the middle of the field.
Got 5 grades per good penalty, so he'd be even lower.
Yeah, that's what I mean, dead in the middle of the field. It's going to be a rough run for him. Franz apparently 4/10 up, coming to the line. John, though, will come to the line first, then Franz. What can the Aston Martin do? He improved, but is still 10th. Here comes Franz to the line.
Is this going to be pole? Yes, it is!
Yes, it is! 38.7, and now Shakari goes from holding pole for a few brief moments to second row starting position. So we have a Mercedes up front and a Mercedes in the back. They're trying to sandwich the entire field between them.
On me. Wow.
And look at that, from 1st to 9th, the top 9 all within 8/10 of each other.
That's amazing.
And all of those 9 drivers in the 39s or faster, 4 of them in the 38s. You don't ever dream of that kind of stuff happening, but they pulled it off.
That's quick. Shakari done that lap on one top run. Imagine if he get 2 runs in, he might have even gone even quicker. Wow. That's impressive.
Alright, well, now is the 5-minute wait until we get to the start of the race itself. So while we do that, let's go ahead real quickly and look at the championship standings as they are for X2. So when it comes to the Drivers' Championship, well, no, Manufacturers' Championship first. 10th is Haas with only 33 points. 9th is Alfa Romeo with 62. 8th is Williams with 80. 7th, AlphaTauri with 91. 6th is Ferrari with 105. 5th, Mercedes with 109. And then it's a four-way fight. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized. I'm sorry. Six-way fight. Oh! Six-way fight for the manufacturers. I should not do big smoke noises. Six-way fight for the Manufacturers' Championship. Sixth is Ferrari with 105. Fifth is Mercedes with 109. Fourth is Red Bull with 111. Third is Aston Martin with 113. Second is Alpine with 114. First is McLaren with 117. So first through sixth in the Manufacturers' Championship, separated by only 12 points with 2 races left. That is... gotta love that. Drivers' Championship, things are a little bit different, though. There is a tie for 19th between Extra Yun and Exit Spot. They have 12 points each. 18th is BTEC 11. He has 13 points. 17th is AVS Fan. He has 15. There's a tie for 15th between Zola and Fletch. 14th is Mr. Preacher, 68-69 with 18 points. 13th is TIR Foreman with 24. 12th is Fizzy, 12-58 with 30. 11th is XR Veloke with 36. 10th is James Down with 38. 9th is K18 CDC with 40. 8th is Harry 5902 with 52 points. 7th is PPR Venom with 58. 6th is XRL Torpedo with 65 points. Then 5th is XRL Ozza with 75. 4th is Chubby Spark with 81, but I do not believe he is running today. 3rd is XRL Pelly with 87 points. 2nd is Franz W31 with 90. And leading is Mr. Neon 713 with 96 points.
Schumacher, your car is on the grid, mate. Can you retire in the pit on lap 1, please?
He stepped away.
Schumacher, yeah, can you just tell him to retire his car?
Yeah, I will.
Because that he joined late in the session, see, but that's what happened. He joined as a spectator here.
Alright. I'll let him know. Excuse me. So, looking at the race starting. Maybe I shouldn't have done this broadcast. I don't know if my voice is going to survive. Looking at this race starting grid, Schumacher is put in 19th, but he's not actually going to start the race itself. 18th is RTM English in the Alpine. He'll be starting on softs. 17th will be Zola in the Mercedes. He'll also be starting on softs. 16th will be AVS Fan in the AlphaTauri. He'll be starting on mediums. Air Max in 15th will be starting on mediums also, as will Remco in the Red Bull starting on mediums. Veloce starting 13th on worn soft tires. He really has to work hard to dig himself out of a hole early in this race. Fletch is going to be starting 12th on medium tires. 11th will be Maddie in the McLaren with fresh softs. Ozza, this is going to be the one to really watch. He's going to be starting 10th on fresh, hard tires. Everyone in the top 9 is going to be starting on worn softs. 9th will be James John. So the entire so there's almost a pretty much, wait, that is a lockout actually, isn't it? Yeah, there's a lockout in the 5th row for Aston Martin, so good job on their part, I guess. 8th will be XR Low in the AlphaTauri. 7th will be K18 CSC in the Alfa Romeo. 6th will be CJ Hurricane in the Ferrari. 5th will be XR Torpedo in the Williams. 4th is Neon in the Red Bull. 3rd is XR Shikari in the Haas. 2nd is XR Pelli in the Alpine. And starting on the pole is Franz W31 in the Mercedes. All right, here we are, preparing to get underway here at Azerbaijan. Shumi, are you there? No, he is not. Oh dear. 4 lights, 5 lights. It's lights out, away we go here. And at the start, Franz, Shikari, Torpedo fighting. Look at these runs farther back though. There's a Ferrari who spins. That's Hurricane who spins right off the middle of the field and goes from a front starting spot right to the rear of the grid. Schumacher fighting with Fletch for position. And that is AVS fan, and I think Pelly also has damage. Schumacher now up in the 12th in a race that he is not supposed to be running. AVS fan, Pelly fighting for 14th to 15th spot. Here comes AVS fan to the inside, makes contact with an Alpine, makes contact with a second Alpine. He still holds 14th for the moment though. At the front though, Franz and Shikari are opening up a gap on Torpedo and the rest of the field. And Ozda, no good start for him. Oh, someone's wing has just come off. Who was that? Oh, McLaren! Matty gets run to the side of by Rim, going into Castle, and Rim is the one without a front wing now. Or at least he's one of the guys without a front wing, but does he realize he does not have a front wing? He needs to be careful here through Sector 2. Veloce gets by Lowe. I think Lowe also might have some wing damage right now. But looks like most everyone is going to navigate through the first lap alive, and Schumacher, who is not even supposed to be in this race, is probably just taken over by AI, has gone from dead last to 11th in a lap. Sector 3, yellow flag, that's Rim, who is struggling with that damaged wing and falls right to dead last, as Franz has the lead. He's trying to open a gap against Shikari. They both have pulled away from Torpedo. Then it's Neon, Jabez John, who's just gotten passed by K18. Although K18 goes into the wall, and he has damage now on that car, I imagine, and will fall back to 6th. Then Matty was here, is another 5 seconds out. Then it's Schumacher. Look at that, everyone from 14th to 19th having to pit. Schumacher, who is not supposed to be in this race, is now up to 9th from 19th position. Congratulations, outstanding job. Out-fucking-standing. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be cursing. Out-bloody-standing. It looks like he's in position to overtake Air Max in the next few laps as well. Those fresh soft tires, unlike the worn softs that the top 7 all have, are really working well in Schumacher's favor in a race he's not supposed to be in. This is hilarious. Haas off, that's Veloce. And a bad day goes worse. He has significant front wing damage as well, and he will have to pit to repair the car. Franz has opened up more than a second gap on Shikari. Shikari actually seems to be falling back just a little bit, backing up towards Torpedo. But the field's relatively spread out throughout most of the grid. It's not until you get from 8th on back that you start seeing people all closer together. Veloce's out! And that's it for him! And that is a virtual safety car. It's right in the middle of the castle section. It does look like everyone else was able to get by without issue though, and that has now turned into a full course safety car. Jabez John, K18, and Air Max all pitting. They're going to be taking off these tires to get on new mediums that they'll probably be running on to the end of this race. Schumacher goes from 19th to 5th! 19th to 5th! Yeah, Schumacher, are you there? Yeah, he stepped away and is going to really put a weird can on this race because the top 4 are likely going to pit to get off their very worn soft tires. Again, those are tires that they turn laps in Q2. And when they do, this man, Schumacher, is going to be leading in a race he shouldn't even be in. Well, no, maybe Schumacher's not quite close enough to inherit the lead, but he's going to probably move up another position or two. Yeah, okay, he might not actually take the lead. I think he'll still be 5th, actually. And France stays out. No, they don't. Nope, there they are. They just, it's late until we get the notification. But yeah, top 4 do pit. Yeah, Zola. Schumacher is not here. Well, he's not here with us, so... He must be an AI. Well, he's got to be an AI, because I could definitely hear if he showed back up manually. Yeah, but Zola, you have to understand this, though, Zola. I can hear when he sets up and sits down. His mic's not that silent. I've heard him... No, he's not muted, because I heard him stand up and walk away. He's not back. Well, the AI at 60 is trashing the second highest tier in the XRL grid right now. He has gone from 19th all the way up to 2nd. And he's going to be on tires that will be, at least for a lap or two, faster than Francis. So the AI is going to potentially continue this run of going from last to first. It might end up beating the rest of the grid here. I'm not saying it will happen, but this has become a very strange scenario, to say the least. The field's not all properly gathered up yet, so we're not anticipating to go green until the start of lap 6 at the moment. Still under the safety car for the moment, as we're waiting for the rear of the grid to properly close together. But we should be going green at the start of lap 6. Well, when it comes down to it, everyone is on medium tires with 3 exceptions. The AI of Schumacher SF7, Rim, who is dead last, he is on softs, and then XR Low in 13th has thrown on hard tires. Now, I don't know if Low thinks those hards will carry him to the end or not, but Low is in a position that he could potentially go for the majority of the race, and then if a late race yellow comes, he could throw on a set of softs to try and go hard to the end and steal a fastest lap point. Schumacher, are you there? Schumi? Alright, well, we're going green. And yeah, you can tell it's an AI because that AI, Schumacher, was not at all prepared to get overtaken. Franz has gone by him, Shikari has gone by him, ABS fan has gone by him, Flex has gone by him as well. So yeah, that McLaren is hemorrhaging through the grid. Wow, look at Neon just barely sneaking his way by. Oh, and there's a contact behind. Several cars involved. Torpedo was one of them. I think Low was as well.
Hello,
and now Shikari has gotten back by Schumacher. Schumacher, you're AI. You gotta get rid of it.
I've only just come back.
Your AI is racing, and you winkle-hawked the field.
I can't take hold of it.
Shut down your game.
Okay, we shut down.
Now get back in it and retire your AI. Well, meanwhile, closer to the front, AVS fan has been attacked by Mr. Neon, and Shikari is there as well, but Franz has walked away from the grid. Schumacher's AI has slipped from 2nd to 5th, but still from 19th to 2nd an AI, and now he has become a cork in the bottle, holding up everyone from 6th on back. Ozda gets by K18 now, as 18 had to really back out hard. Here comes Ozda now, barreling down on Schumacher. Neon gets by AVS fan, going down the main straightaway with some drafting help, and now Shikari is going to try and do the same around the inside through 1. They're still side by side on the run to 2, but Shikari does have the spot. Rim is out! Rim has had an instant in pit lane and retires in the pits. Ozza behind Schumacher. He's like, hey, look, if I can get by Schumacher, I can start flying and maybe run down the top 4.
I'm taking control now. I will pull the AI straight off to the side.
Did Ozza run into the back of the McLaren when the McLaren finally got pulled off? I don't see any damage. It still looks like he's good, but he is a long way off from the front of the field. Yeah, Ozza still seems good as for now. As long as he navigates 14-15 okay, he should be fine. So Ozda will now be leading a DRS train from 5th all the way to about 12th at the moment. Franz, fastest lap. Now Neon, fastest lap, 142.523. Alpines have caught each other for 9th and 10th at the moment. Torpedo running right behind Low. Former teammates in Realistic League.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, Shumi, talk to me after the race is
Okay.
over about that, okay? Privately, out of conversation. So France has opened up a 2.5 second gap on Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri is just trying to keep Mr. Neon at bay. Those two have pulled away from AVS Fan as this has gone on. Azda is just outside of DRS range, barely. He is trying to barrel down on AVS Fan. And Lowe has had an incident. Lowe has had an incident coming out of 16. There's front wing damage on the car, and he now drops out of the points paying positions. Oh my god, please tell me your AI still isn't right. Your AI is still on the track, Shumi.
I tried in pits.
Okay, well, it's finally pulled off at the runoff in turn 3, but Sha'Carri gets by Neon finally, going down the second DRS straight, and will inherit second spot. But as second and third spot, it lets Franz just open up the gap a little bit more. Pelly in a little bit of a run right behind CJ Hurricane and English. English having a really bad run coming out of Castle. Here comes Hurricane with a run, but the Ferrari's not willing to commit, or is he? Yes, he will. He's got to try. He's got to go for it. They get side by side for a briefest of moments, and Hurricane is by English in a place you don't normally see overtakes at. Incredible job as Hurricane smacks the outside wall in the process as well. So now Pelly is going to take a look at his teammate to get by him. Meanwhile, Mr. Neon closing back in on Sha'Carri down the front straightaway with some DRS, but he thinks better than to go for a dive bomb in one. So the Haas stays ahead for a few more corners. Can Neon exit 2 well enough to get alongside the Haas with DRS into 3? The answer is going to be a no. The gap opened up significantly in that corner, so Sha'Carri should be safe for a bit. One minute, gotta try and take care of something here. Torpedo now by Air Max. So team cars seem to be having a little bit of fights amongst each other throughout the grid, although English has plummeted down the grid as this has gone on, and he'll likely have to pit to repair damage to that machine. But the Alpines were fighting each other for a time. Now we see the Williams both fighting each other as Air Max is trying to close back in on Torpedo as they go down the main straight here. Neon again closing on Sha'Carri on the main straight, but can't get close enough to get by or even alongside of him. Oh, and Lowe's out! And that is coming out of 16. And Lowe out of the race now. We're going to try and get him into the party real quickly, hear what he has to say. But we are still under green flag conditions, interestingly enough. 15 cars still running on the track, all of them still on the lead lap as well. Neon slowly falling out of DRS range against Shikari. And while Neon does seem to do a good job closing in sectors 1 and 3, in sector 2, Shikari is just way more confident with that car. Neon just outside of a second. He exits 16 well enough that he's able to start closing the gap back down. Shikari also burning hard on the ERS while Neon's not really messing with it. He's using just DRS and is closing in, so he is burning Shikari empty of ERS as this is going on. Ozda gets by AVS Fan as AVS Fan pits to get off medium tires. He's been on pretty much since the start of this race. CJ Hurricane, Pelly neck and neck through the corner, and it does look like this position goes to Pelly. Everyone seems to be good on fuel at this point in the event, though. Our Team English has just set the fastest lap of the race, down there in 12th. And those times will only continue to drop, though. Neon's a little closer to Shikari this time than he was last lap, so we might see him make the overtake here. He should have the advantage on ERS and DRS. So Shikari has built it back up to about 20% ERS. Neon's still in the 60s though. Neon's really not pushing all that hard to try and get by Shikari. He seems very content to just run in third behind him for the moment. He may be betting on Shikari eventually making a mistake. Meanwhile, farther back in the grid, K18 CFC sees AVS Fan ahead. AVS Fan on fresh, hard tires that should take him to the end of the race, trying to hold off K18, who is going to probably get by him either this lap or next, but K18 will have to pit again. Those soft tires will not last to the end of this race. So that Alpha finally goes back into the points-paying positions. Back at the front, Neon has slipped to about a second out of Shikari again. I'm gonna try something here. Oh, okay, so you were back online. Okay. I didn't get notifications that you were back online, and Xbox said you were not, so I had rushed to get you back in. Yeah, because I was thinking you were still struggling with stuff like Xbox. By the way, at this point in the event, the main fight of interest is for second between Shikari and Neon. Shikari has basically been burning his ERS almost empty, but then slowly recharges it as they run through Sector 2. Neon has the advantage in ERS, but has not really been laying hard into it for most of these laps. There's also another battle of interest, though, for 6th and 7th, as Pelly is closing on Air Max, and Air Max is running very poorly on fuel, and English just crashed out. No, he's not. He's retired in the pits, actually. And now Flesh pits to get off the soft tires that he's been on for 6 laps. But English now out of the event. So now we're down to 14 drivers. Pelly looks like he is slipping away from Air Max. And again, Air Max's tires are just 1 lap fresher than Pelly's, and 1 lap around this circuit can mean the difference between night and day for some drivers. In fact, Pelly is now backing up to CJ Hurricane. It looks like the Ferrari of Hurricane may have a chance to overtake Pelly down the straight. Oh, Pelly's been disconnected. And Ozda pitting out 4th now. Boy, Hurricane thought of doing a dive bomb like what you did there, but thought better of it because he just wasn't close enough. Yep, easy overtake on the second DRS straight, but Hurricane did lose a decent amount of time, though, between turns 1 and 2, so that will work in Air Max's favor. K18 has come into the pits, and they are throwing on medium tires on that machine. This will drop him back to the 11th position now. Yeah, and those mediums should last Ozda easily to the end of this race, while everyone in the top 7 still have to make another 10 laps. 10 to 12 laps on these tires. That's not happening. Everyone in the top 7 will have to pit. Ozda can go to the end like this. So yeah, I think Ozda is potentially in good position. I think he's too far back, though, to fight for the win. But I think a 4th or 5th is in his cards, maybe. Mr. Neon closing on Shikari once more down the straight, and Shikari comes into the pits. So now Ozda is the first person to make what might be the last stop, and now everyone else is trying to react to cover so they don't end up being caught out behind Ozda as the event goes on. Torpedo also pitting out 4th. Nah, there's still 11 laps left, and those softs die after about 6 laps. That's not anything close to a gamble I would ever feel comfortable running. So Shikari still holds the position over Ozda, but Ozda does jump Torpedo, so Ozda is en route to a potential 4th place finish as it stands right now. This is not going to work out well for Shikari because Shikari is trapped now behind Pelly. Pelly is on very warm medium tires, and they're not in a good overtaking zone. They won't be for a while because they're about to enter Castle here. So this is going to work out well for Mr. Neon, actually, because he's going to have, ideally at least, he's going to have a cleaner outlap than Shikari. Ooh, wow. That could have gone bad. Top 4 have yet to pit. Here comes Franz. He will avoid pit lane this lap. Mr. Neon also stays out another circuit. Air Max is still trying to make a fuel number as well, and that's why he has fallen 15.5 seconds off the 2 leaders. Pelly holds the inside, but Shikari easily by, and that coupled with Air Max making his stop to get on to a different set of tires will put Shikari back into third. But he is 16.6 seconds out from second, and he is about 20 seconds out from the lead. Yeah, I think Shikari, I don't know. Shikari now has the advantage. He now has clean track, and Neon is now running on tires that are old. And as this continues, the gap and the delta is going to continue to go more and more in Shikari's favor. I think for Neon, he has to consider pitting this lap. And even at that, it looks like he's starting to hemorrhage time, so Mr. Neon might still end up behind the Haas. But Neon will end up behind the Haas with tires that would be ideally 1 or 2 laps fresher. So I can see on the timesheets that he is closing on Neon, and by extension, closing on Franz as well. Well, could Franz, I don't know, I don't think this could work, but could Franz maybe try to stay out a little bit longer to jump onto softs instead, and try to pound out the last 6 laps of the race on soft tires, which would be faster than Shikari's, at that point, worn mediums. 21. I think if Franz can get to lap 21 and make the stop then, he could jump in on softs. Oh, that ain't gonna work out for him. He's going to be faster than Shikari, don't get me wrong. Shikari's gonna overtake him here. But Neon's gonna be faster than the Haas. But on the last 2 laps, Neon's gonna be way worse off than the Haas. And Neon's not nearly as close to Shikari as he wanted to either. In fact, Pelly nearly overtook the Red Bull. And Franz also is running with about 38% ERS as well. Shikari has cut the gap from first to second down to 17.7 seconds. McLaren, Maddie was here, has spun and ripped off the front wing coming out of turn 1. And that's always the worst place to have that happen because you have to hobble that car around the entire racetrack with no front downforce. Air Max is caught up behind ABS and they're thinking of going side by side into Castle. They won't, and Maddie is out. Yep, Franz is in now. Shikari's going to have the tire advantage then at the very end of this. Now, I think Franz is going to be ahead of Shikari, but just barely, though. Nope, Shikari's got him. And this should do it, because while Franz, and to an extent Neon behind, will be faster for the next 4 to 6 laps, on the last 2 laps of the race, Shikari will have the tire advantage. The big thing, though, is that Shikari does not have ERS. Franz will have DRS and ERS on the straights. And Mr. Neon is closing back in as well, but if Neon catches Franz, because again, Franz is still getting those tires up to temperature. If Neon catches Franz before Franz can actually get to Shikari, I think those two will probably spend so much time fighting each other, they won't actually be able to do anything to Shikari. Shikari got the ERS back up to 25% coming onto the main straight. He's not laying on it hard. He's only using the natural amount that the engine normally engages. Franz, same thing though, but Franz is within 3/4 of a second. I don't think he's close enough to make them dive into 1, but he might be able to do it into 3. This is Franz's best chance at making this happen. He's going to be right behind Sha'Carri, and he can lay hard on the ERS and DRS. Sha'Carri can't do either. Sha'Carri, how does he defend? He takes the outside line. Here comes Franz. Barrels up on the inside. Easy overtake. Crossover for the Haas, though. Sha'Carri's not done yet. And now Neon's factored back into the fray. Also, with Ozda, the point that you were making earlier about he was in a good position on the tires, you're absolutely right. He is currently setting 4th, 2.5 seconds ahead of Torpedo, who is in 5th position. Ozda is in a position that when Neon's tires start falling, if Ozda doesn't make any mistakes, he might nip Neon on the last lap. Sha'Carri just not able to keep pace with Franz, who is on the soft tires. And Neon is... Yeah, Neon's going to blow by Sha'Carri here. Mr. Neon is actually in a better ERS position than Franz. I think Franz knows about his tires issue, and Franz is burning on his ERS to try and run away from 2nd and 3rd position right now. Pelly, I think, is probably going to go for fastest lap of the race point, as is Jay Baston, who's down there in the 13th position. Air Max, though, in 8th is still worried about fuel issues. There's still the yellow light on that car for fuel, so... Yeah. Well, we saw Kinsey Retro at the end of the Dev race yesterday run out of fuel on the last lap and coast by a line to take home 9th at like a speed of 5 miles an hour. So... But we've only had one real serious yellow flag in this event. So, and that was early on in the race. There's not been a lot of chance to properly gain your fuel back today. Again, though, in the next lap, once we start about lap 23, the bounce is going to start shifting in his favor. But if he doesn't get by Neon immediately, he won't have a chance at nipping Franz. Yep. Yeah. Torpedo's tires are 1 lap fresher than Ozda's, and just a difference of 1 lap on the mediums even is huge. Who? Oh, and James John, though, John has just crashed out on the main straightaway. There's no safety car in the field. Is barreling down. The leaders are coming to James John at speed. He's not in the racing line, but he's super close to it. That was way too close. That was... So is there wing damage on that car that we just couldn't see? Well, he's staying out another lap irregardless, so he might say, hey, look, I have 11 seconds over Pelly. I'd rather just deal with this damaged car and drag it to the end than pit and throw that away. Well, that will preserve Ozda's 4th place, I imagine. Well, at the front, Franz, and the gap between himself and Neon is at 1.1 seconds. Sha'Carri is about 1.3 behind Neon. But Neon has burned up all his ERS reserve, and the ERS benefit has actually turned over into Franz's favor at this point. He is ranked 33%, Neon is at 19, Sha'Carri is at 17, so... And none of them are within DRS of each other. I thought the softs would have fallen off by this point. They haven't. Now, Franz does have the advantage. No dirty air on the nose of that car whatsoever, and he did pit a lap later, so Franz would be the last one between himself and Neon to have his tires fall off. But I thought for sure that Sha'Carri would be closing right back on to Neon by this point. I'm honestly shocked it's not happened. You make a fair point. I didn't think about that. That would take him to the end then. Well, I think at this point we can say that as long as Franz doesn't do any silly mistakes, he has locked up this win after dominating today. The fight's going to be for second because, again, Neon has the aerodynamic wake off the Mercedes ahead they has to deal with, and his tires are 1 lap older also. Torpedo obviously feels that, yeah, there's damage to the front wing, but he can just muscle it out and fight through it. He thinks it's better to just stay out and deal with it than to come in and repair the car, so... Torpedo, time penalty. Now everything seems to be falling off the rails for Torpedo in the Williams. You might as well pit and just go for fastest lap point at this stage. CJ Hurricane 11th has now just gotten a time penalty as well. So it took a long time, but we're finally at the point where time penalties have factored in. Neon has totally fallen off of Franz, so Neon's tires are falling off now, but Sha'Carri is not closing on the Red Bull. Well, as I say that, now he's closing on the Red Bull. Yeah, Franz is going to win this race pretty much by default as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. The fight, once again, is for second. Sha'Carri is going to have better tires. Neon, though, has the track position. Sha'Carri will have DRS. Yeah, it's going to give you the last lap for a second spot. Yeah, Pelly's barreling down on him right now. He's within a second already. don't think Pelly realizes Torpedo has wing damage. Alright, here we are. For a second, Sha'Carri laying on the ERS. It's empty just about. Laying on the DRS. He's within half a second, but can't do anything. He needs that extra umph of the ERS to pull him the rest of the way, but there's only going to be one DRS straight left. There we are. Pelly finally gets by Torpedo. Oh, Torpedo's fighting back on Pelly. Torpedo let Pelly have the position, got DRS, and moved back in front of the Alpine, going into one. So for Torpedo, the race is not over yet. Neon has a very slight advantage with ERS, but those tires are so burned up, he really doesn't feel he can utilize it. Thing is, there's only about half a lap left. There's not a whole lot of places left for Sha'Carri to get by Neon. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be that close. Oh, he's going to be that close. Well, at the front, Franz W31 has dominated, led almost every single lap of the race, and will easily take him a victory. The real fight is here for second. Neon laying on the ERS, so is Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri in the draft. He's within a fifth of a second. Can he close any more? Here he comes to the line. Barely nails him out. Barely. Azda will come home to take home the 4th spot with an excellent strategy on his part. Oh, he wrecks after the line. Outstanding. And Pelly come to line 5th. Torpedo is going to be 6th. Just barely ahead of K18. And Air Max is out of fuel. Air Max is out of fuel. It's going to be the same thing we saw with Kinsey. It's going to be close, but I think he'll just barely have the pace to get this position. Yeah, just barely. AVS was nearly out of fuel as well. Zola comes across. He'll round out the points-paying positions. Alright, I guess I can understand that. Yeah. Alright, and coming to the party right now is Franz W31. Franz, go ahead, include your audio. A fantastic dominating performance from start to finish. What do you have to say about that day?
Hey guys, thanks a lot. I'm sweating so much. I think Neon kicked me so honest in the last stint. I never felt I had it in control. One mistake and it was all over. So yeah, I just had to stay consistent, had to keep him out of my DRS, and at the end I just got the win.
Well, it was a fantastic run, mate. Outstanding drive there. Also, great job for Mercedes bringing home a bunch of points in that very, very tense Manufacturers Championship as well.
Awesome, thanks man.
We're also going to go ahead talk with Mr. Neon, who came home 3rd. Neon, go ahead, make sure your audio is included. Well, Neon, the good news is you started 4th, you finished 3rd, and you got fastest lap of the day. But it felt like a win was in the cards for you. Was there anything different you could have done, Neon?
When I was battling with Sha'Carri the first time around coming out of Castle, I lost the back end, lost the position to him. I think that was, I think that's what ultimately cost me the win, because I was catching Franz, and I felt like I had the pace to catch him, maybe challenge him. So it was a cracking race, really good race. Can't really complain.
Well, what about that drag race to the end, though? Back to the line.
Yeah, that was that was annoying, but at the same time, it was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, one more race left. Do you think you can repeat this kind of performance next week?
Is it Brazil? Yeah.
Yes, it's Brazil.
Well, I do consider Brazil to be my strongest track, but I don't know about anyone else, so we'll see.
All right. Thanks for jumping in and talking with us. It's been great watching you go at it. We also want to talk with our second place finisher, XRL Shikari. Shikari, a win in Dev, crashed out in X3, podium with a photo finish, and X2. How would you rate your weekend as a whole?
As a whole, I'm disappointed with X3, but very happy with everything else. So I guess it kind of evens out.
All right. Well, walk us through this race, X2, from your perspective, at least.
Well, great racing with Neon before the second pit stop onto the second set of mediums. We were very even throughout the whole thing, and then I was hoping throughout that last stint that the softs would start to fall off a cliff, which I guess they did on that last lap, and the racing on that last lap, I mean, it's just unlucky in it really for him. But yeah, I'm very happy with the podium.
All right. Well, one race left. It is Brazil. It's a circuit that you've historically done relatively well at. How do you think you can run at Brazil next week if you run it in X2?
Well, I will not be here for Brazil on Sunday. I'll be at a gig.
I thought maybe you'd be back next week for the X2 race. I knew you probably weren't going to be there for the X2, but I thought maybe you'd be back for X2. So
I mean, I think in X2 the week after as well, on the 26th.
yeah.
Yeah, so I won't be here for that, I'm afraid. I'll be here for Dev, though, more than likely. Maybe. But with that in mind, I want to congratulate Bloche on the X3 title. And yeah, good luck for everyone in Brazil in X2 and X1.
All right. Thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us. There's one more person I do want to talk to today. That is XRL Azda. Azda, go ahead and include your audio. A silent but strong race for you here today at Baku. Not quite fast enough for a podium, but from 10th to 4th, great job. What do you have to say about your day?
I just want to say that I had the pace, to be fair, but starting on the hards is always going to be quite hard, with obviously everyone being on quicker tyres around me, and then some shambles happened in turn 1. People like literally stopping in the middle of the racing line and slowing down and stuff, and I got hit in the rear. So that wasn't ideal, but then the safety car came out. I was like, fuck it. Oh, sorry, no, shouldn't swear. Sorry, my bad. I was like, screw it, and I went on the mediums. And then I was like, oh, I can just do another medium stop, because I knew those mediums, if they did get me to the end, they were going to be very close. So I just picked a few new mediums on lap 14 again, and then just kind of chipped away at a few people, and then got P4. So yeah, it was a decent race, to be fair.
All right, one more race left. It's Brazil. It's a track that you've done very well at in the past. What are you expecting from yourself at Brazil?
So a decent result. Like I said, it's a very good track for me historically. Obviously, I had that very good driver, I think, where I spun to last and then won. I can't remember what that race was though. But yeah, no, I just want to end the season on a high. That's all I want. So yeah.
All right. Well, at least from my perspective, it looks like you could do it. Great job, mate. Thanks for being willing to jump in and talk with us as well. And we look forward to seeing you in Brazil in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that will wrap up our broadcast here for XRL X2 at Azerbaijan. It will be an off week this weekend, followed by the season finale for X1, X2, X3, and Dev. Then it will be a small break until the series has properly settled into F1 2022. Until next time, though, I've been your host, InsaneLeader13. I was joined for most of this race by Schumacher SF7. As the co-commentator, I want to say thank you, everyone, and goodbye.